In 1948, one of our nation's greatest social achievements was set in motion. Healthcare, instead of being restricted to those that could afford it, became the universal right of everyone. Young, old, rich and poor could turn with confidence to the newly formed National Health Service. Since then, the NHS has moved to meet the social, political and economic demands of the times. But it's always remained the NHS, our NHS, a place our parents, our children, our grandchildren can turn to when in need. But now the government is implementing the biggest shake-up in its history, right under our noses. Could you have ever imagined that the NHS would be privatised? The government won't say it, but that's what's happening right now. By 2014, NHS hospitals will become foundation trusts, making them more like private businesses. They will be able to raise even more money from treating a greater number of paying patients, pushing the rest of us to the back of an ever-growing queue. NHS staff are being forced into the private sector, with their wages and pensions driven down to help sell them on. These are people who joined the NHS because they care about people, now working for private companies who care about profits. Money that should be spent on patient care will instead be lining the back pockets of some corporate millionaires. This will be the new privatised NHS. But why? Before this government came to power, the NHS had the highest approval rating in its history. Not now. 1 in 10 of GP surgeries are now run by private companies. £20 billion of our NHS money will be handed over to companies like Boots, Serco, Virgin Care and Circle. The nurses, paramedics, midwives, health visitors and cleaners that care for us are being hit with cuts to pay and pensions. With morale at an all-time low, patient care will start to suffer. 20 billion of cuts, 7,000 fewer nurses, longer waiting times in wards and A&E, queues and patients suffering. Is this really the NHS we want? The NHS has helped us for generations, but now it needs your help. When you are sick, you need the NHS. Now it needs you. The 29th of September is the national demo for the NHS. Save the date and make sure you play your part. And together, let's save our NHS.